A little bit of music before we get started.
Don't you wait another minute. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Gotta go and reach for the top. Believe in every dream that you got. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? You know you gotta give it your all. And don't you be afraid, it's beautiful. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? Are you waiting for the right excuse? Are you waiting for a sign to choose? While are you waiting, it's the time you lose. What are you waiting for? Don't you want to spread your wings and fly? Don't you really want to live your life? Don't you want to love before you die? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Gotta go and reach for the top. Believe in every dream that you got. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? You know you gotta give it your all. And don't you be afraid, it's beautiful. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? Tell me what you're waiting for. Show me what you're waiting for. What you gonna save it for? What you really waiting for? Tell me what you're waiting for. Show me what you're waiting for. What you gonna save it for? What you really waiting for? Everybody's gonna make mistakes, but everybody's got a choice to make. Everybody needs a leap of faith. When are you taking yours? What are you waiting for? You gotta go and reach for the top. Believe in every dream that you got. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? You know you gotta give it your all. Don't you be afraid, it's beautiful. You're only living once, so tell me, what are you waiting for? You gotta go and reach for the top. What are you waiting for? Believe in every dream that you got. What are you waiting for?
Hey, Sherry. Playing some music. We'll be getting started here in a few minutes.
What are you waiting for?
Feel free to come into a seat if you'd like.
What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?
That song's by Nickelback. I love that song. So anybody want to join in? I guess it's just myself and Sherry right now. Good to see you. Or see that you're here. Trying a little bit of a different setup tonight. My other computer, I think, isn't quite as fast as the other one. I'm not sure if this one's going to be any better in terms of how it syncs. I look like I have a lip syncing problem. Oh, okay, that's good. You can hear me. Awesome. So why don't we just get started, because we'll see people will probably end up showing up. And feel free, if you want to step into the open seat, you're welcome to. If you want to just ask questions via text, that's cool too. So this is the start of a series of blabs that I want to do, shows I want to do to initiate a conversation around how we are showing up in life, to be able, what's it going to take to live consciously in this chaotic world. And so, I want to explore what that means. And so I have kind of some themes through the week. So today is Mirror Monday, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Tuesday is going to be what I call Tender Tuesday, in terms of connecting and being gentle with ourselves. Wednesday is going to be Warm Wednesday, kind of like the heartfelt warmth that we feel when we're connected to our heart. Thursdays, I'm calling Touch Thursday. What are the things that touch us and move us? Friday is Face the Facts Friday, looking at the data and the things that are going on in our lives. And Saturday is going to be Soul Saturday, and Sunday will be Substance Sunday. So that's a little bit what's going on. Hi, James. Good to see you. If either one of you want to step into the seat, you're welcome to. Awesome, Sherry.
Hey.
Hey.
Good to see you again. Second time today.
Yeah, awesome. Really good to see you.
Uh-huh. I think it's also important to give people maybe strategies.
Yes.
To not only like conversate about it and talk about it, but definitely to give up some strategies to how to tackle this thing.
Absolutely. It's a very good point. And that's also the challenge of this medium too, right? The dynamic nature of people coming in and the conversations that have to take place. So I'm trying to be a little bit more prepared coming into them, trying to prepare some thoughts. So yeah, and I appreciate it's great feedback in terms of strategies.
Mm-hmm.
So Mirror Monday, I'm thinking will be about, so what's mirroring? What are you seeing? What's being shown to you today? What's showing up emotionally or otherwise for you today? And so could be grief, anger, sadness, or fear. And I guess my perspective is that whatever is showing up, that is also our teacher. So there's an opportunity. So if whatever is showing up in my life, first of all, did I notice what's showing up? Did I notice what my feelings are? And if I did I notice the lesson? And then the other question is, what am I going to do about the lesson?
And first is, of course, they'd have to recognize it.
Correct. So the first step is awareness, right?
Right.
I can't, I'm not going to be able to work on anything or notice. I can't extract a lesson if I'm not aware of it, like you say. So in terms of, so what was showing up for me today, for example, was, I'd been working feverishly since around Christmas to get my website updated because my book was finished. I need to get my book out there. And so I thought, I just need to interface with people. I can tweak my website and fiddle with that like forever. Being a writer, I can, rip things apart. It doesn't necessarily move the needle forward from a business perspective. So today what was showing up was, okay, I'm feeling this tension. So, because one of the things I'd say is that when you're looking at whatever's showing up, whatever emotion, whatever tension, pay attention to the tension. Kind of a twist on words, but pay attention to the tension, because tension, I believe, is our friend.
Right.
So what I mean by that is that imagine that there's an elastic band between my two hands. As I stretch my hands out, what happens? There's more tension on that elastic band. Mm-hmm. Well, tension by its nature seeks resolution. Mm-hmm. So when I feel tension, so to go to your question around, well, I'd first have to be aware. So pay attention to the tension. Once I start to notice that I'm kind of feeling tight and I'm having a strong emotional reaction, that's tension starting to show up.
You're not emotionally hostage, because a lot of people will get emotionally hostage at that point.
Oh, yeah. And somebody's locked me up and thrown away the key.
Right.
Or I've got on the merry-go-round. I like to think of it like it's a baggage carousel. Mm-hmm. If you go to the airport, you're going to pick up your bag. You're not going to pick up someone else's baggage. Mm-hmm. You do all the time emotionally.
Right.
Other people's thoughts and emotions and feelings. So the first step is, like you say, awareness. So pay attention, observe when you start to feel tense. You feel yourself feeling tense. Is to go, I'm feeling tense. And then one of the things I think we could do is then, so where am I feeling that? Am I feeling that tension in my head? Am I feeling it in my heart? Or am I feeling it in my stomach? Where am I feeling that tension? And then someone thinks one of my favorite tricks is to say, okay, so what's the message here?
Mm-hmm.
What's the message in the tension? And usually I always get an answer. It doesn't come here. I just kind of feel it. Have you ever had that experience, Shari?
Yeah, totally. I understand what you're saying.
Right on.
I think the difference with people that are more aware of themselves and aware of life can recognize that the challenge is living consciously in a chaotic world, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are not able to be conscious of some of the things that me and you might be able to recognize.
Right.
So
that's so true.
That's the challenge.
Well, that is the challenge. And, I guess it's that old question, which came first, the awareness or the knowledge that I could be aware? I'm not sure what the answer is to that. I remember being in my early 30s, when I started to become more conscious, because I started to notice how often I'd be in a conversation with somebody and they'd say something and I'd feel guilty that I had a different point of view. And then I'd try to kind of turn to kind of adopt their point of view, to kind of please, to perform, to connect, and to fit in, as opposed to just standing in my own power.
Right. Yeah, I can totally relate. So, but it did. So I guess we knew. So knowing is half the battle. So.
Right. Knowing is half the battle. And then I guess the, part of my question earlier was, okay, so now that I know, now that I have an awareness around whatever's going on, what is that about? To inquire about it. Is there, so if I'm feeling a strong emotional charge towards somebody that I had a meeting with, for example, and typically in the past, I would have been kind of reliving that meeting in my head. Well, they said this, and I said that. Well, what I should have said was this, and having an argument with them sort of in my mind. And so now, one of the things I like to do is go, interesting. I'll literally sometimes say out loud or silently to myself, I'm having an emotional charge around so-and-so. And then I just sit with it. And then I sort of I wonder what that's about. And usually I'll get some kind of response in terms of, then there's a new tension that arrives, right? Well, that's because, you got the same thing going on in you.
Right. Because you see something mirrored in that image, right? But I guess we're all a work in progress. So
Exactly.
And as I tell people all the time, even in me pouring into other individuals and encouraging them, it totally encourages me. So because I'm a work in progress, just like anybody else, we're human. So we can easily get emotionally hostage. It still happens with me and my mom. You know what I mean? Like I'm still, every once in a while.
You're still her daughter and she's still your mom.
And sometimes I still think, I think she thinks I'm younger. So, but we do get emotionally hijacked first. So I think it's just good that when you can become aware and conscious of whatever is going on around you, to know what effect it might have on you emotionally, because then we react instead of responding. Right? Isn't that what the guy said earlier?
Well, we respond instead of reacting, because the emotional reaction, the emotional charge, and the sensations of excitement that I feel in my body are me reacting.
Reacting.
I would say that it's reacting, yeah.
Yeah.
So by, taking a step back and breathing, because the other thing that happens when I have a strong emotional charge, or I'm in a place of fear, I stop breathing. Our breathing gets very shallow, and we pull in, and our energy pulls in, and literally, because what literally happens when we get in that fight or flight response, that fear-based response, our body pulls all the blood in towards our core.
Yeah.
That's why we end up all those sensations of, I feel lightheaded, or it's like, or the heart starts to pound.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So what are the other days? What were you saying?
So the other days, what I'm thinking of doing is Tender Tuesday. That's all about self-care, around being gentle with ourselves, and not not being judgmental and harsh towards ourselves.
And learning how to pamper yourself and
how to pamper yourself, and I think one of the things I like to do, one of the things I started writing a book on self-care. It's not finished because it's kind of morphed into this new, because every time I start digging into self-care, it's such a gigantic topic. It's because it's physically, emotionally, spiritually, work, so many different facets to it. But as I keep looking at it, I came to a place of that I realized I needed to develop a self-care consciousness, because I really didn't even consider my needs. I always put other people's needs ahead of my own.
Right.
So one of the things I'll be talking about is how to develop a self-care consciousness. Because
and often as givers, that's what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put other people's needs ahead of our own. That's the gift, and it's also the challenge.
It is. It totally is.
Yeah.
I was saying just yesterday that I really still like being the student, because sometimes you get tired of going to different events and like conferences and things like that, but I really take that time to just be a student. It's not about what I do. It's not about what I can offer anybody. Or when I take classes at church, like, it's very important to just be aware of where I am. You know what I mean? So you have to be aware of where you are, and being as though you give so much of yourself to other people, you have to be aware of where you are. And so I have that peace with me. You know what I mean? So
right. I think it's a healthy thing to cultivate being a student of your life. Continue to be perpetually the student of business, the student of life, whatever that is. Then on Wednesday, my plan is to talk about Warm Wednesday, which is basically, I was trying to make everything rhyme, right? So it's a writer thing, but it's all about the heart. And so as a cult, so I wrote a book on business planning and how to create spreadsheets and all that kind of thing. So I was a very cerebral kind of guy. If you had met me 10 years ago, 20 years ago, the feedback I often got is, Greg, you're in your head a lot. And so my journey the last 5 years is just kind of connecting with my true essence, who I am. And so on Warm Wednesday, we'll be talking about heart-related matters and how we can cultivate, how we can get out of our head by connecting to our heart. I have some breathing techniques and that type of thing that I'm going to share.
Okay.
Do you practice any kind of conscious breath or meditation?
No, not. I've been hearing a lot about it lately, but no, I don't. I do make sure that I have my meditation time, but I haven't.
Okay.
Any type of breathing techniques or anything like that? No.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, it's when things are really hectic or really intense, focusing on conscious breath I found really brings me back to center. So I'll be
Okay.
sharing some of those techniques. Thursday, I'm going to be talking about touch. I'll be talking a little bit about a story I had with my life coach many years ago that kind of started me on this whole self-care journey. It was a particularly charged coaching session because I was quite ticked off and upset with things and with life. And she says, "Well, hold on a second. Tell me, what are you doing for self-care?" I was like, "What? Self-care?" Because I was frustrated because I didn't know what she was talking about. I'm talking about my stuff, and she says, "What do you? No, when's the last time you did something for yourself? When's the last time you had a massage?" I said, "Massage? What are you talking about, massage?" So I didn't have any idea about, and so it was kind of a sign as to where our marriage was at, and even though we were in the same house, we were still basically separated. So there was this real separation that was going on. So we talk about touch and the role of touch and how we can touch ourselves physically, but we can also touch ourselves intellectually and emotionally. Because if I can get the energy moving, I can move my consciousness and move my awareness. And if like we were talking about earlier, I can move my awareness, things will keep going forward. Face the Facts Friday. This is where I'll be talking about, being able to be the observer, to look at and observe the way things are, as opposed to the way I think they should be, or the way I expected them to be. And what do we do with that? How do we cope with that? I think it's a key aspect, at least in my life experience, to living consciously, through the chaos, is being able to see things as they really are. So, for example, you're trying to go to sleep and there's a dog barking next door. And you can say, that darn dog, Well, the dog's just being a dog.
Dog, right?
It's a perfect barking dog doing what a dog naturally does. Me getting upset about it is me making a judgment and a projection about the way it is or the way I think it should be. So by looking at the fact, it's a barking dog, I can let it go. That's a very different response than that damn dog. That neighbor should,
Right.
Don't they know what time it is? Don't they know I'm trying to go to sleep? I got to get up in the morning, blah, blah, blah. You could have that whole kind of story going on.
I know when I lived in the city, it's funny you picked that example. When I lived in the city, I lived in Maryland, and when I lived in DC, the dogs in the alley, and then the cats would whine, and they weren't whining. I guess they were meowing, but they sounded like they were whining, and every night at like 1, 2, or 3 o'clock in the morning, I was like, the damn dog keeps barking. Don't they know we have to go to work tomorrow?
Yeah, exactly.
He used to stress me out so bad, but then I noticed after a while being there, it was totally how I was responding. And after a while, I didn't even realize he was barking.
Right, there you go.
But in the beginning, I wasn't used to any dogs barking, and I lived out here in the suburbs. I was used to hearing the dogs and the cats all in the alley, and I had to get used to that. And after a while, I didn't even notice them anymore.
Yeah, exactly. It's amazing how we're able to tune that out. That's amazing. That's funny. Yeah, and then on Saturday, I'm going to talk about Soul Saturday, or our higher self or spirit, depending on how you want to look at it. What role does my higher self, God, spirit, whatever, play in my life?
Okay.
And how do I, what's my relationship with my higher self or with God or whatever? How do I want to approach that? What do I believe about that? And then as far as Substance Sunday, I'm still kind of exploring that one, but I'm thinking, what is the real substance? Who am I really? Am I my thoughts? Am I the one who observes my thoughts? Am Am I, so, who, what is real? Like, for example, if um, the dog is real, the dog barking, once it stops barking, it goes back to being a dog instead of a barking dog. So is it still a barking dog?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's an existential kind of question, but it's just an interesting thought experiment, a way to kind of look at life,
Right.
and kind of look at what's going on. So that's sort of my plan for the next 7 days. And tell me about what you're doing, Sherry. How can I help you? How can I support you?
Well, I am new to all of this. I am enjoying Blab so much. Don't watch a lot of TV, so Blab has become my my outlet for entertainment.
Cool.
But no, I've been volunteering the last couple of years. I'm a life coach in life skills and transformation for women, and getting women past generational setbacks, changing negative mindsets. So
excellent.
I've been doing that for like the last 4 years, and now I'm trying. Well, let me not say trying. I'm attempting to move into the paid arena.
Okay.
I do a lot of speaking with the that's the guy who's removed all the snow. We have like tons of snow here.
Where are you located?
I'm in Maryland, and
you guys got a big hit. You guys got lots of snow.
Yeah. Tell me about it. So I've been in the house for like 3 days. I'm going crazy. So the guy just came so that we could pay him because he just finished the driveway.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and I'm aspiring to go into it full time. And but I work with a lot of nonprofits in the area, doing a couple of sessions and self-empowerment and things of that nature.
Oh, good for you. I have a program that I do with a friend of mine here. We've been doing it locally, but we're going to be bringing it online. We call the program The Journey, and what it is it's a 1-year support program for holistic practitioners, complementary medicine, and coaches that want to move from, working from home or hanging their shingle out to actually being able to replace their job and make a full-time income from it. Yeah. So that's a program so what we do is we have 12 days of training over the course of the year. And then we do coaching every couple of weeks with the individuals. We start working with you as an individual to make sure that you're really solid in your particular craft and your motivations and your mindset. Then we work on the practice. If you're coaching practice, we work on getting clear about what you're going to offer and how you're going to offer it. And then finally, we work on getting the business up and going. All this happens while we also have, we've been working, we have a kind of a lead generation funnel where we're able to help coaches find customers. Where we develop some Facebook strategies of people that are interested in trying some different things out. Matter of fact, at the end of February, we're doing with one of our practitioners locally who is a dream builder coach, wants to do an event. And so we're doing the event with her. We're each taking 2 hours and doing the event. And so we will each speak, but it's all about helping people move forward from a place of purpose.
Where are you located?
I'm in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm in Alberta. We're in the hi, Led Zepp.
Okay.
We're in oil country in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah.
I keep saying well, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's on the record, but oh well. I keep saying if Trump wins, I'm moving to Canada.
Oh.
So. But okay, well, it's on the record now. So what?
Right. Hey, David. So, David, we were just talking about living consciously in a chaotic world, and if you want to step in on a seat, you're welcome to. And I was kind of just we were just kind of having a little bit of a visit.
Yeah, David, your profile says nothing special. Nothing special. Well, that's interesting, Greg. I hope that our
Okay, well, it's up to you. You're welcome to listen. It will be around for a few more minutes. I'm going to try to limit these to like 30 minutes each day. So, David, we're planning on doing one. Today is Mirror Monday. In other words, looking at what's showing up for you in your life and what you're feeling, and in looking at the events in our lives as a mirror to teach us. Chaos.
So
he says,
you
chaos.
advertising this on your for social media? You have Facebook and everything?
Well, we've been doing some organic stuff. We have a relationship with a Facebook a fellow, and we've been finding some different groups. And so what we're doing is we're finding that there are people that are interested in exploring different alternative healing and other types of modalities. And so people are interested in learning more about that. And so what we do is they let us know, and then we put them in touch with a practitioner who will provide them with a free evaluative service. And then the trade for energy is that they give you feedback, and then you do enough of those with that feedback, we're then able to help you, because what we do is we ask the people that are involved with it what were they thinking it was going to be like before they met with you? What was their experience when they met with you? And now if they were to explain it to a friend, what would they say? I've used this for 30 years in my coaching practice. I've never found a customer that's gone through that process that hasn't substantially improved their communication to be able to reach the market.
Okay.
So, David, the mind's interpretation of an illusion, isn't that like the whole waking dream, eh? There's a whole idea of, so have you ever had a dream, Sherry, where it's like you could have swore when you woke up that you were actually in real life experiencing it? Yeah,
totally.
And I wonder if we're really awake when we sleep, and when we think we're awake, we're actually asleep.
Right.
I mean, Anthony Robbins wrote a book called Awaken the Giant Within, because he said,
I've read that.
It's about waking people up.
Right.
People are asleep.
They're sleepwalking.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. David, I love the way you talk. We are always asleep. Yeah, I was talking earlier a few minutes ago about, who am I? One of the topics this week I'll be talking about is, who am I really? Am I the one? Am I my thoughts? Am I my emotions? Am I the one observing my thoughts? Or what? Who am I really? And so I am what I am not. Oh boy, we got a philosopher here. You got to come back and take a chair someday there, David. Love to have a chat.
You should jump in.
Yeah. He was saying that he wasn't sure he had the right computer.
Yeah.
Actually, what you need, I think, is a good Chrome browser, and I think just about any computer will work. But they really like to have a really good, strong processor. It's going to be interesting to see what happens when this records. I decided to change it up and do it on my laptop because it's newer. Mm-hmm. It's got more memory, because I'm hoping that it'll record better, because the one I did this morning, my lips are moving when the words are different. Mm-hmm. So anyways, we'll see what happens. It's still in beta. Yeah, I'm not my ego. Yeah, that I think is the big hoax. Have you seen the movie Revolver with Jason Statham? It's Revolver. It's REVOLR. It's a great movie, and it's basically, it's a bit of an action movie, so it can be a little grim at times, but it's a great parody of the ego. And it's got people like Deepak Chopra they interview at the end. They've got Dr. David Hawkins, John Kabat-Zinn talking about ego, and that the biggest trick that the ego plays on us is that the ego is us. So by hiding in plain sight, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really a neat.
When did it come out?
Oh, it's a while back. Maybe 8-10 years ago. If you got Netflix, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Used to be on Netflix. I'm in Canada. It's not. It was on Netflix in Canada. It's not now. I happened to buy it on in iTunes, but it's a good movie in terms of the whole parody of the ego. So, yeah.
I'll have to come to Canada.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure visiting, and look forward to seeing you guys. If you found this interesting, tweet it out and share it. That'd be great. And look forward to. I'll be here at the same time, same place tomorrow, and we'll be talking about
7:00
at 7:00. You're 7:00 Eastern. Yep. And we'll be talking about Tender Tuesday, about being gentle with ourselves. So, yeah, look forward to seeing you there. And if you want to learn more, you can learn more about me at my website. I'll put it in here. Do the little commercial. Let's see. There we go. Do you have a website, Sherry?
Working on one.
All right.
Yeah, I'm working on one, and hopefully everything will be up soon. Like I said, I'm in transition.
Yeah. Well, reach out if there's any way I can be of assistance. Just feel free.
Okay, I appreciate that.
If you're interested in that journey program that I spoke about, we do a 2-hour assessment process. There's no charge for that, and you'll learn a lot about it. We do a very in-depth archetyping, so that you're able to look at yourself from a life path perspective, numerology, astrology, and a number of different Enneagram, number of different ways to look at yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great tool for for yourself for growing and learning, as well as for using with clients. So if you're interested, I'll pop by my website, send me an email. I'll put my phone number in here. You can feel free to call me or send me a text message, and I can always call you back. I'm available.
Great.
Awesome. Well, thanks for dropping by, David. It was a pleasure to kind of have a chat, and I'd love to have you take a seat one day. You look like you have some interesting perspectives. And so with that being said, remember that you can always live consciously in your chaotic world, no matter what happens, by being headstrong and heartfelt.